Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comedian and host of Bachelorette Recap, a guy's review. This is Bachelor Nation news. I take one day off. I go to the beach. I get a sunburn because you can still get a sunburn even when the sun's not out. It goes through the clouds. Your boy just found that out the hard way. My back is a lobster. I take one day off, and the whole Bachelor world blows up with PPP news, okay? So this conversation, we'll talk about Tayshia Adams right here. We have her loan amount. Colton's legacy, charity, whatever. You know, he needs money. Look, tracking devices are not cheap, okay? You need tracking devices. You need duct tape. You need to print out MapQuest images of your ex-girlfriend's family's home and the surrounding areas. I mean, these are expenses, and this is sarcasm. And this is a sarcasm is a comedic way to punch up at the injustices in the world, like getting off after committing stalking and harassing of your ex. In other ways to get off, we've got Bachelor in Paradise coming out in a few weeks. I'll make a video about that in a little bit. Actually, I mean, it's not coming out in a few weeks, but there's a lot of spoilers coming out. Katie Thurston season, episode 4, week 4, tonight. I'll be doing a live stream at 4 p.m. Pacific time, which means if you're on the East Coast, you can watch that live stream for 1 hour leading up until the episode. So come hang out with us. Get your cocktail ready. Get ready to go. Make your, cauliflower chicken wings or whatever diet you're on, trying to get ready for summer. And we'll do that. And then at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll do a post-episode live stream. You can join that as well. And, of course, the daily other content will be going out. We have a lot going on. I'm trying to cram in a lot here at the end of June. A lot going on. So we'll jump right into this PPP story. In the meantime, do me a solid. Help me out with a like and subscribe. I'm almost at 35,000 subscribers. I think we're going to hit that by the end of the day today. So do your part. Hit the subscribe button. Plenty of people that watch aren't subscribed. Only 30% of my audience is actually subscribed. So we're going to need you to subscribe. I'm trying to inch my way to 100,000 subscribers. So I too can get a PPP loan. They don't give it to you unless you're verified, apparently, all these celebrities. So we'll talk about Kanye and even Tom Brady's foundation and other companies that got PPP loans. And we're really going to break down the idea, is this that bad of a thing that people got loans for their companies? Is it that bad of a thing? I'll read some of your comments. We'll get into it. If you want to give me a Patreon loan, which I won't pay back, you can go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. I've been giving you guys extra video podcasts and weekly live streams. We had a really good live stream last night talking about Reality Steve, and if, everyone's like, how do you hold people accountable? We talked about Taylor Nolan. We're still talking about the people within Bachelor Nation that might have done something wrong and the retribution that follows. So if you want to be a part of that conversation, you can go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. Check it out. Now let's get into this story. So first things first, I'm going to go down the list of different people. You know, one person finds a link that shows how you can see like PPP loans, and next thing you know, it's like, let's type in Dale Moss and see what he's all about. This is how I type. That's also how I massage and foreplay. That's where I'm at, folks. All right, Lobster Dave, just get a sunburn and foreplay. By the way, wouldn't that be a great podcast? You just talk about suntans and foreplay. All right, so Margaritaville. You like that metal straw? Doing my part, okay? I have one metal straw. And anyways, and I don't recycle my grocery bags. Okay, Colton Underwood Legacy Foundation. This, by the way, is it a scam? Have I looked into it? I don't know. I don't know with charities. For the most part, I'm skeptical of charities. Most charities, all the money goes to administrative things. It's a tax write-off. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but he's got that other for-profit, the dog t-shirt company. And it's like, I feel bad. I feel bad because the empathy in me, the nice guy in me wants to like Colton. I do, because he seems like he's going through a lot. He's trying to find himself and all these things, but he's just a wrecking ball of disaster. He just, you know what I mean? So anyway, he got $11,000. Let's read some of the comments. I wrote, did Colton try and deduct his tracking device as a business expense? I mean, these are honest questions. Who knows? Let's go to Best here to see what the comments are for Colton. And we'll talk about PPP loans. And here's the deal. If it's legal to get money from the government during a pandemic, during a Black Swan event, I'm on the fence here. You can hate Colton all you want. You can think Tayshia's worth $1 billion all you want. The true crimes committed during the pandemic are the billionaires who didn't pay any taxes. The true crimes are the people up top that like Tasha, my fiance, was saying, you know what? The really crimes are the billionaires and the Olive Gardens. And that's right. You know how many restaurants got like small business loans because they're like franchise, each one had only 30 employees. But it's like, you're a conglomerate. You're giving away free breadsticks. You don't need this money. You know what I mean? Olive Garden is guilty of fattening up America, which clogs the arteries and the healthcare system. But I digress. I mean, I think we're onto something here. I think the iced coffee's kicking in. So let's get into this. You either love me or you hate me. I'll tell you that. I am sure I annoy the hell out of some people. My mom's like, I had to, raise you as a kid. According to the most recent Form 990, Colton himself doesn't actually receive any direct compensation from the foundation. So I'll give this the benefit of the doubt. His foundation's 990 is public, and his executive director was paid a salary in 2020. His foundation is a 501c3 and a legitimate nonprofit. This isn't the same as an influencer paying themselves. This wasn't for him personally. Wish this was the top comment. All right, so good to know. Hey, good to know. Good to know. You cannot like what he did, tracking device, this and that, but if he's running a legitimate charity, I'll give him that. Is he? I don't know, but it's something. At least it's actually for his foundation, and he actually has a payroll, though never thought I'd defend him. Yes, to be fair, TBF, that's what the kids are saying. This is a corporation, not sure what it actually does, though, me neither, or if he had any staff to pay besides himself. I'm only mad if people were using PPP as a personal paycheck when they weren't actually losing income due to COVID. But there's only one job reported. Yeah, because his 2020 990, only the executive director takes a salary. So I guess the question would be to look at the executive director and be like, how much are you being paid? What are you doing? And is it like, because, it could vary. I'm assuming you could have a charity where the executive director is getting paid $1 million a year and there's, $50 left over for the cause. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know who his executive director is. If some psycho out there wanted to analyze this and go digging, you'd think if there was any fraudulent activity happening with Colton, it would have been found already, but who knows? So if anyone wants to track that story, you can get it. Okay, come on now. It's Monday. Bryan received 2 PPP loans totaling $15,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news here. Let's get into this breaking news story. We have Dr. Abs himself, Bryan, receiving 2 PPP loans. I love the LLC. It's Dr. Abs Lifestyle and Wellness. Here's what happens, okay? I had to do that. I incorporated myself. Thank you. How you doing, Dave? I'm doing incorporated. YouTube pays me, right? Google pays me. I got them Google bennies. So they pay me, and part of running a business is to protect yourself and, having different expenses and this and that. So a lot of people get incorporated, a lot of comedians, when you are your own business, that's a good thing to do. If I have to pay someone for, this or for that, you want to pay it through the business. You want to do it right. So I got incorporated, and they go, okay, what's your name? What's your name going to be? And I'm like, I'm Dave. My name's Dave. And they're like, well, you got to have an LLC. You got to have a name. So a lot of people have just stupid LLC names. And so this one, Dr. Abs, Lifestyle and Wellness, which I don't hate, but like, God forbid you eat at Olive Garden. You have a couple of the breadsticks. Who doesn't? They're laced with crack cocaine and hope. God forbid that cheddar stuff on the top. What is that? That's just crack cocaine with Parmesan. It's a Parmesan. They do that little thing. They Parmesan with crack. Would you like? They just like just shred off some crack for. Excuse me. I digress. The point being is like, geez, you know what I mean? He eats a couple extra breadsticks, and Dr. Abs more like Dr. Dad Bod, Lifestyle and Wellness. That would be a good. Dr. Dad Bod should be my new name. Hello, it's Dave Neal, Dr. Dad Bod, Power Recapper, coming to you live from the studios in Hollywood, California. So he received $7,000. And I mean, look, $7,000 can go a long way. That can be life-changing for people that are just like stuck with a little debt, that are like living on the threshold. But did he lose money? He's a chiropractor. Did he have to shut his business down? So he very well could have lost $7,000 in revenue. I mean, this is a non-story to me, a non-story. It doesn't mean he's not, whatever for doing his pyramid schemes or like lose 5 pounds in 3 days. You want to lose 5 pounds in 3 days? Go watch a Taylor Nolan podcast. It'll give you instant diarrhea. That's a good way to cleanse the body. Anyway, so my story, the point is, and this might be my favorite video of all time. I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying myself. I don't know about you guys. I try to make this enjoyable for me, and maybe it transfers to our friends in Switzerland. Shout out to you guys out there who are watching this in the for their evening information while you make I don't know what you make in Switzerland. What do Toblerones? What's in Switzerland? Is that Germany? Either way, lots of chocolate and Whitecap Mountains. Point being, so over the weekend I lost my Amex card. I don't know where it went. I don't care. I don't carry a wallet. I carry a couple things. I don't know. It's probably on a beach somewhere. No one's charged. I got it replaced. So I didn't have my credit card, and Tasha and I were at a friend's birthday party in San Diego, and I was ordering a burger. It was my cheat day. So I banged some chicken. No, I'm kidding. It was my cheat day for food. So I ordered a burger, and I gave him the credit card, and it was my LLC. It was my business card, and it says Dave Neal Enterprises, which it was like, okay, Dave Neal Enterprise. You have to call it something. I wanted it to be attached to my name, so it wasn't. So I didn't want it to be Dr. Chuck, Dr. Power Recapper. Although that would have been fantastic if my LLC was Power Recapper Dave Neal, but it's not. It's Dave Neal Enterprises. D&E, what up? So when your food's ready, they had like a megaphone, and they just so they looked at my credit card, and Dave Neal Enterprises, your burger is ready. And I had to just like walk there, and they were like, who the hell is this guy? And I'm like, that's I'm the enterprise. It's me. This is the global enterprise here. All right, let's move through the story. So, well, you know what? Actually, let's see if there's any comments about Dr. Abs. Because to be fair, if people were receiving loans in good faith, so someone says, can we stop this? Feels icky. I don't get why this one is controversial. Bryan runs a patient-based practice with employees, which would have been impacted by COVID. The only thing controversial about this is the Dr. Abs name. Is this the legit name of his practice? Because it just sounds like his personal LLC to me. If this is the actual name of the practice, then the money could be going to employees. According to his business license filed in Florida, this is for his chiropractic office. Yeah, the name of your LLC doesn't have to be what you call the business. Like Olive Garden, it doesn't have to be like, Olive Garden Enterprises. It can be, what we, feed low middle income people and pretend it's Italian food. No offense to you if you love Olive Garden, but I went to a nice Italian restaurant this weekend. A lot of times you can go to a mom and pop shop Italian restaurant, get better food, and it won't even cost as much because it's not some conglomerate that puts all their money into stupid commercials and the crack cocaine they put onto the breadsticks. It's like, how about less free breadsticks and, better Parmigiano? What do I know? So I'm going to share Arie's business in a minute, but this is different. So this situation is a bit different from Arie's because Arie's business was literally just shilling. As for Bryan, this is the LLC for his chiropractor business, which is under COVID shutdowns, actually did impact him as a business owner. I can see this as a legit application. Also, just because someone is personally well off doesn't mean their business is doing well. The finances must be kept separate. Oh, what are you gonna get on Reddit and you're gonna speak logic? Get out of here. We're trying to be mad. Anyway, so I guess what I need to do, I didn't realize I'd have to do this, but I honestly didn't think this would be a video where we needed to be a referee. So as far as Bryan's Dr. Abs go, the ruling on the field is, hold on, should we go down to the field? Do you guys want to go down to the field here? The ruling on the field for this Dr. Abs, there is no penalty for the PPP loan for Dr. Abs, Lifestyle Wellness, whatever the company is. You are in the clear. All right, Dr. Abs, no penalty. Okay, so I'll be ready to judge all of them. Dr. Abs, you're okay. And as far as it goes, we're going to go back to Colton because to be fair, you got to be fair here. The Colton Underwood Legacy Foundation, there is no penalty, for this at least, with regards to the use of your PPP loan information, which was $11,355. If you decide to put that money to a charity that helps women who have been abused in domestic violence situations, that's on you, Colton. That's on you. We'll be tracking this story. All right, so those two are fair. You guys know me. We're heating up when we get into the ref. I told Tasha, the women, they go wild for the whistle. They love a good... They love when you blow a good whistle here, folks. All right, we'll see how it goes. And that's Dave Neal Enterprise for you. Okay, that should be my code word. Like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I was just hanging out with Dave Neal Enterprises. Oh yeah, he's got a business, all right. He will provide loans for you. The loans of laughter. All right, Dale received a $20,000 PPP loan. Let's go into this. He does sign his name when he dumps people, so that is something you might want to write off. Dale Moss, sole proprietorship, Sioux Falls, San Diego. He received a coronavirus-related PPP loan from the Small Business Administration of $20,833. That's a good amount of money right there. So let's find out. Let's see what else the tag said here for Dale Moss. We're pulling this up right now. The second page here. So here's where it's important. We have a problem with critical thinking in our society. We have a problem with not doing our research. We read headlines and we think we know the story. So right here, PPP funds undisbursed. So potentially he thought it was a good idea to file for the loan, and then I'm just assuming, and then didn't actually take the loan, maybe because business picked up and he didn't need the money. He was approved March 23rd, 2021. So this was more recently, but the question isn't when he was approved, but when he submitted for the loan. But it's not a bad idea to submit for a loan you might not actually need if you just want to get in line, see what the deal is, see what all the information is. You're not guilty of like applying for a credit card and like, people are saying, oh, he applied for a credit line here. Well, what does that even mean? We need to do a better job of understanding what this means. So let's go to the best comments here and see what this is all about. And then we will give Dale Moss a proper Dave Neal ref judgment. F my life said, dang, I should have been a business instead of a regular person. Anyone can have a business. You can start your own business if you want. Maybe F my life enterprises. I'm just curious about the $1 in utilities. There's a $1. Let's see. Okay, so the payroll, $20,000 and $1 in utilities. Well, maybe he needed to buy, some, I don't know, keep the lights on, maybe he's got a candle or something. $1 is a pretty good price for utilities. We don't know what that goes to. That could just be a formality, like he needed to have something. As a Canadian, can someone explain what these loans are? Or were they loans to support businesses during COVID? And if so, why are well-off celebrities and or influencers eligible? Yes, it's a COVID relief loan for businesses, self-employed workers, sole proprietors, nonprofits, and tribal business. It was meant so they could continue to pay their workers. Not sure how an influencer is affected by the pandemic since all your businesses are online anyway. There's so many ways we could have solved some issues in our country with regards to the pandemic. Hard to even get into all of it now, but people were just left to fend for themselves. There was people that didn't know if their unemployment was going to go through. There was rather than keeping everyone on payroll and shutting the country down, they decided to just put everyone on unemployment. A lot of people decided they don't want to go back to some shitty job, myself included. My income went up exponentially when I had the time to work on my business, to actually work in my business and not do side jobs. I actually saw some people from my side job yesterday, and my fiance and I were just looking at ourselves like, can you believe what I was doing to make minimum wage plus tips? Can you believe what I was doing to make minimum wage plus tips? And now I got people rolling in with super chats because I'm actually doing something that, believe it or not, is what my talent is supposed to be doing, which is just talking random trash about Colton Underwood. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Theory confirmed, Bachelor Nation is actually Baroque. Well, I wouldn't say that. Wouldn't say that at all. Well, I think a lot of people are making a lot of money in Bachelor Nation. Were we expecting any of these people to be thought leaders who would prioritize ethics over their CPA telling them that they could get free money from the government? My thought is this, and again, I did not get a PPP loan. I think I did apply for a small business loan because of stand-up comedy. For a year and a half, I couldn't perform stand-up comedy and make any live money. That's also hard to prove. It's hard to prove money when you're getting paid in beer tickets and hot dogs. You know what I mean? It's a tough world out there. It is a tough world out there. 310 comments on a loan that he was approved for but never took the funds. Why would he even apply for it then? Serious question. Well, that's a stupid question, to be honest. Why would he apply for a loan and not take it? Because we were in a global pandemic. No one knew what was going to happen. People were like, hey, you got to apply for this loan. Everyone's getting loans. And you go, all right, now, we haven't even mentioned this part, but these loans were pretty much guaranteed that they would be forgiven. So these were loans that just people wouldn't have to pay back. For real, I get going in on people who did this, but this is really a misleading post. It matters that he didn't actually get any money here. There's plenty to like and dislike about most of the people on the show. We should make sure we're accurate. OMG, right? Can the mods sticky your comment, please? It's actually hell because it shows how my parents got effed over as small business owners. Well, that how your parents got effed over isn't Dale's fault. It's not Dale's fault that he went waited in line in the proverbial soup kitchen and your parents didn't get anything. Like, it's not his fault that the system wasn't ready for this, that the system didn't have a social safety net to provide for people. That wasn't Dale's fault. He's just a cog in the machine trying to get a little bit for himself. I mean, this is like on Black Friday when everyone's rushing to get a TV. It's like, if people have to wait in line to get a TV at midnight because they need the savings, isn't there a greater problem happening? If people need to loot businesses because they feel so much despair, if people need to steal my car battery, isn't there a little bit more going on than just somebody trying to steal $20? Isn't there some despair happening in our country? Isn't there like a shrinking middle class and the rich are getting richer because they can hire CPAs to take care of their money and do this and that? And the rest of us are like, why are we all in line begging for soup here? All right, so the ruling on the field with Dale Moss here is that he... No penalty. Move along. Didn't do a wrong thing by applying for a loan and then not taking it. That's Dale Moss here. Okay, so let's move it along here. What else do we have? Dale Moss there. Someone said, what do they even do with these loans? Seems like extra stress. You could get them forgiven if you told the lender that the money went to payroll. So essentially, you just had to pay yourself. You had to pay yourself and you were going to get the loans. All right, so here we go. Tayshia Adams got a $20,000 loan. Approved January 29th. So this was approved before she became co-host. This was approved before, she had just, I don't know. I don't know. Was she losing opportunities because she couldn't travel for influencer jobs? I don't know, guys. I don't know. This one's a little more dodgy, I guess you could say. And then this is fake. This is a fake one. Someone made Jorge Moreno. So he's the bartender from Bachelor in Paradise. This was a fake one. Someone said, tourism listening bystander of the week. This is great. So this was, excuse me, the loan was approved, I believe today actually. Wow, yesterday. The loan was approved on a Sunday. Can you believe that? All right, what else do we have? Oh, here's Jade. So here's a fun story. New mamas that have been financially burdened from everything the past year. Drop your registries here. I want to help you get what you need for your baby. So that's nice. Now, of course, while she maybe not have been outed as someone who's receiving a PPP loan, she and her husband did try to game a gaming system, won $1 million and had that money taken away. DraftKings, hey, you know what? I respect the hustle there. Hey, they tried. So, this isn't, we can get mad at Dale Moss applying for a loan, which is ridiculous, but hey, it's a Monday. But here's the true story. Kanye, Reese Witherspoon among celebs who got PPP loans meant for small business. Now we're starting to see a problem. When Congress passed the Paycheck Protection Program, the goal was to save small businesses and companies in troubled industries. Yet many business owners by celebrities, including Hollywood stars and members of the Kardashian clan with a C, applied for and received federal aid approved by the Treasury Department. Independent investigators found that at least a dozen large publicly traded companies were approved for PPP loans. Yeah, this is all public information when you're going to get a PPP loan. Kanye West, remember him? Superstar's clothing and sneaker brand Yeezy received a loan of between $2 million and $5 million. So we can get mad all we want at the $7,000 here and the $8,000 there. But is that truly a problem? We look at this. $2 million and $5 million. The sum is negligible compared with Yeezy's brand value, which Bloomberg estimates to be at least $3 billion. Last year, the Kanye West-owned company generated $1.3 billion in revenue. And again, this might not be Kanye's doing, this might be some smart business people being like, oh, well, there's free money to be had. We can line the wallet. Who knows? But Khloe Kardashian, remember her? Jay-Z, this is, a loan between $2 and $5 million. So it's just, and I guess it's like, this is why celebrities separate themselves from their businesses, because maybe their business is losing money, or maybe the business does need to pay its employees still, but it does not look good when you're associated with a business and you are a multimillionaire. It just doesn't look good when the money didn't trickle down. Like they made X amount of $1 billion available for people. Well, when you're giving away $2 million to $5 million, that's going fast. When there's plenty of people that could have really benefited from having just $10,000 each. Reese Witherspoon's clothing brand Draper James received a federal loan of between $350 and $1 million. The company employed 44 people during the pandemic. Okay, so the money is to keep people working. Would they have worked without the the loan? That's kind of like, who knows? I truly believe, like, in instances like that, it's like, should a celebrity go broke because they're paying their employees during a global pandemic, when if they didn't get the loan, they could have just fired their employees, or they could have just let them go? You know what I mean? So the loan, it was well intended, but of course there'll be problems left and right when we see it. So there's that. And and to be fair, my boy Tom Brady over here, to be fair, his company TB12 received more than $960,000 in PPP loan. Now, again, I don't think Tom Brady's sitting there with a calculator in the back of the room, being, with his glasses on, being like, "So, did we get that?" I don't believe that's happening at all. But the optics are bad. The NFL quarterback Tom Brady, the greatest football player of all time, one of the greatest athletes, the greatest winning athlete of all time, has a nutrition company, and the TB12, it's a whole thing. He agreed to a 2-year, $50 million deal with Tampa Bay Bucks in March. So that was what looked bad, is that he agreed to this $50 million deal, and then his company's getting the PPP loans. More than 500 sports-related companies received funds of $150,000 or more from the Small Business, is it association or administration? Who cares? According to the Small Business Journal. So a lot of money was given out, and he has, there are people on payroll. They're brick and mortar shops. TB12 sells products online, but they're also brick and mortar, like sports and training facilities. So it kind of operates like a gym. So the money should be sent to small businesses. So it's not exactly wrong. It's just the optics not looking great. So actually, it says there was $2 trillion was created. But as we know, people like myself, my fiance, we weren't even getting loans because all the money just, boom, went away like within the first couple days. So yeah, very, very fascinating stuff. And of course, you can read articles left and right. Millionaires and PPP funds went to wealthy celebrities, musicians, influencers. Essentially, the money went to anybody who had the right business minded accountants or people that could look after them. They were the ones who took advantage of it. Meanwhile, the true small businesses, and small business is what? Any business under X amount of people. So there's plenty of businesses that count as small businesses, like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse was considered a small business because they had multiple locations, but each location, is Chipotle a small business? I guess that's the question. Is Chipotle a small business? You know what I mean? And in the haste to issue these funds, it was hard to decide who gets what. And like I said before, this is the problem sort of with capitalism, because this is a social program. And everyone's, I'm so against socialism. What, I can get money for my thing? Like people like that are like so anti-socialism. And then they find out that, taxpayer funded money during a pandemic. It just wasn't executed right. It wasn't executed fairly. We were so worried about giving people $700 or whatever it was stimulus checks. And meanwhile, you got people like, giant celebrities getting $2 to $5 million. So priorities, as always, it's easier and more salacious to make fun of or accuse the Dale Mosses and the lower level people of the Tayshia Adams. But, where are we when it comes to like rising up against the real problems? The billionaires that don't pay any taxes in the first place. People like Jeff Bezos. Then NASA's sending him to Mars. Please, I hope it's a one-way ticket. You know what I mean? We're sending him to the moon and funding that. And meanwhile, he's not paying any student loans. Places like Walmart. Everyone loves to shop at Walmart. When you shop at Walmart, your other businesses are going out because no one can afford the prices. The prices keep rolling back. But here's the deal. Walmart will fire you before they give you a raise. They're keeping, like, more people that work at companies like Walmart are paying into and taking out from like assisted living. So the government is actually paying people to work at companies like Walmart. Does that make sense? They get paid so little on the lower level while the Walton family makes billions and trillions. They get paid so little that they need government assistance just to survive. Do we really want to live in that style world? If your answer is no, find out who's running for office in your local elections and get these people the hell out of here. Start worrying about the little guy. I'm less worried about the 10,000 for this, or I didn't even have the Arie one. I don't think I was able to pull that one up. That's too bad. I think the Arie one was supposed to be a good one. Let me just search. Let me search Arie here, Arie PPP, and let's see if we can find this real quick. Because Arie is, okay. Oh, here's a good one. All right, let's end on this one. This will be my final referee of the episode here. And of course, do me a favor if you enjoy this content, even in the least. Give me that loan. Give me that PPP loan by hitting subscribe. That's what's going to affect my bank account. So let's go into this. Arie and Lauren received $20,000 in PPP loans. Let's see if this one's called Instagram Husband. Okay, that's Arie's company, Instagram Husband. I don't hate it. I don't hate the LLC, to be honest. Maybe it's their way of trying not to have their name attached in case they do something fraudulent, maybe. So he got $20,000. None of the money went to anything. It just, straight to payroll, which I get. That's kind of what you say. It's like you're just filling this out. Their accounting's probably doing this. But we'll read the comments and let's see what we have over here. Some redacted email, some redacted info. Not that I care what their address is. So this was incorporated March 14th, 2019. But when does it say? It doesn't say when the Instagram husband received the money, so we're not really sure. But let's go back to the comments and see what people have to say. Now, Arie, of course, comes from a wealthy family. He's also, I believe, Republican, which, not to say that this is a left versus right issue, but I hope that he's voting for social issues like the ones he's benefiting from. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say about that. I hope that he's voting like everybody. If you're going to vote with your dollar, if you're going to vote with your morals, vote for the things that you're already taking advantage of. So if you took money in a social safety net, you would think you'd want to put it back in. Someone said, reading the words Instagram husband made my brain short circuit. I hear that. At least name it after yourself or something. Make it sound like the relationship marriage is all for social media and is 100% fake. No, I don't care about that. Don't judge people for what they name their LLC. I don't care about that. It's honestly very widespread. I work in construction finance, and many of my clients saw no slowdown in revenues and actually had less expenses having their employees work from home, made more money than 2019, and on top of that, took out PPP loans in the hundreds of thousands to millions range. Anything under $5 million, I believe, isn't audited. It's wild to see. That's why everyone was getting up to a $5 million loan so they wouldn't get audited. This is just going to be one of those once-in-a-lifetime mismanagements of loans. And who's to blame? It's hard to say. I think they were operating with the best interest to get people money and keep the economy afloat. But, I think they could have done a better job of getting it into the hands of much smaller businesses. I blame the government for its utter inept handling and distribution of all this PPP money. A corporation I consult for got a nice fat PPP loan, and they don't seem to be hurting at all. Meanwhile, my friend who quit his normal job in January and followed his dream and tried to open a brewery right when the pandemic hit is basically effed. Yep, I work in banking and I've seen how easy it is for people who don't even have a business to get these loans. Tons who definitely didn't need it, and tons who had to shutter their business over the course of the pandemic because they saw absolutely none of this money. Yeah, I know plenty of people that didn't get PPP loans that have small businesses that, little comedy clubs had to shut down. It's like comedy clubs were hit really hard because it was like the least essential thing, even though I think laughter is very essential. But most comedy clubs are in dark and dingy environments, which is not the place you want to be during a global pandemic. As a small business owner who got almost no government assistance, I am disgusted. So yeah, we can go on and on about it, but I think we got the info. So some people in Bachelor Nation, of course, the pendulum always swings too far. So there'll be plenty of, by the way, I didn't do the Ref Dave here. Let's go over Ref Dave. So according to the information shown to me with Instagram Husband LLC, it's a 15-yard penalty and loss of down for Arie Ariel. Because it appears you didn't need this money, and it appears you took the money, and I don't think that you lost any. If anything, your YouTube took off this year, right? Anyway, I don't know. I could be wrong, but hey, refs are wrong sometimes, so that's all right. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment. Today, we've got a 4 p.m. live stream, a 10 p.m. live stream, Bachelor recaps. If you like this hustle, which I had to do because my job fired me, and it led me in a direction to work for myself, and I am so appreciative of that. But with that said, not everyone is as lucky as I am. Not everyone could have their YouTube take off and could make money on Google, okay? So many people lost their life savings, their businesses, and their self-worth because of a pandemic no one had control over, and because the government's ineptitude in handing out this money to the right people. So for all of them, I just hope people can keep fighting, and I hope we can vote people into power that can, solve a lot of the issues of poverty in our country. If we're going to be the richest country in the world, like we actually are, if we're the wealthiest country in the world, I don't want to see people starving in the streets. I don't want to see people suffering from drug addictions and mental health issues. I want a social safety net that takes the taxes from the Warren Buffetts and the Jeff Bezos and the richest people that come out of our country and stops moving our jobs overseas. I want them to reinvest in our country while we have a crippling bridge system, crippling infrastructure. We can't get one bill passed. Who's paying these people off? We pay the most for our health care, we get the less. What the hell is going on out there, okay? What's going on, Dr. Abs? Do me some crunches and fight for us. And for everyone else out there, I really wish everyone the best. I hope we can get rid of the infighting and realize the problem exists with the money that goes to politicians. The problem exists with the money that goes to the big pharma. The problem exists with the money that buys people off. We need a coalition of true Americans that gets together and votes the right people into office so we don't see these lousy executions of what should be a good social program. All right, guys, that's my video. I'll see you guys later on for the live stream. Take care. Bye now.